We have a lot of very talented local artists, including local filmmakers here in St. Louis, that I think go largely unappreciated.
I think the idea here was that local filmmakers, one, will have a better feel for the community and then potentially a better feel for the candidate, and secondly, that there's a lot of talent here, and we're interested to know whether or not their talents as filmmakers will work in the talent of doing political campaign commercials.
So we came up with this idea of having a competition and having them produce some 30-second spots, give them a few elements that they had to include, and then let them go wild.
This is for people who want to produce or direct down the road. So you get, people with startup companies who have only been around for a year or two. It's a little bit tangential to independent filmmakers. So it's actually pretty ingenious for them to even consider giving it a shot.
I thought that it would be a good opportunity for me to meet new people around St. Louis, and I was also interested in potentially getting some exposure from the competition.
I saw it as an opportunity to do something productive, fun.
Rather than go to a big Washington, D.C. agency, they wanted to explore the local creativity. So I really want to show them what a local production company can do.
I wanted to approach it as that this is a very diverse city. It's only 300,000 people who live in the city, but still it's very diverse. You have, a Vietnamese section, you have a Croatian and Serbian, Eastern European section. You have a big Latino population.
Having a nice positive message to actually tell about someone, running the city of St. Louis, Mayor Slay, I thought that was the way that I wanted to take this.
I do think the things have been going pretty well in this city lately, so that's a point on his side.
We have a lot of people in the city who care deeply about it and are looking to make it better.
We had this kickoff, sort of, not really party, but like a meeting down at Crapeton, the city, and we handed out the paperwork. We tried to answer all the questions that we could. We picked several facts from the campaign, and we got several messages from the campaign, and they had to choose from a hat, so that it would be random.
The topic that we picked was kind of about the revitalization of the city and how breaking down on some of the laws, or creating some of the laws about making sure that people aren't littering and that they're keeping their properties clean and in good repair.
Mine was on population growth, job growth, and so I thought, well, maybe I should do one on bunnies. So we've got computer-generated talking bunnies. It was a departure, thought it would be different and, fun.
We shot today, so we got up. We went to a location this morning about 9 o'clock, got there, real simple, real quick. We decided to do kind of a two-part piece where the first half shows the police task force stopping some contractors from dumping garbage, and then the second half shows contractors cleaning up a rental property.
We picked a little tagline, "I'm St. Louis," and we interviewed a bunch of different people who actually live in the city.
A growing population is essential for nurturing a dynamic community.
And our topic was that people have been moving into St. Louis in the last 8 years since Mayor Slay has been in office, more than before where it hasn't been growing at all.
Like I said before, our initial goal was to try to show the diversity of the city, also juxtaposed against the areas that are coming up.
Neighborhoods, buildings don't elect politicians. People elect politicians.
It was actually pretty interesting to me because a lot of those areas I hadn't seen in a long time, and I was shocked how much they had changed. It's very interesting to see how people react when you talk about a mayor. You don't think that a mayor has that much influence on people.
We have in the city of St. Louis a lot of good stories to tell. 355,663 according to the latest U.S. Census estimates. And what I've been trying to do is find ways to tell just some of those stories that people will notice.
The film community in St. Louis is growing, and I think what it really needs is somebody that can help put the whole thing together.
You can't build this industry in a town like St. Louis if you leave and go to one of these, in quotes, mecca cities like LA or New York or somewhere else. Even Chicago. Like, if you leave town to go do it, you're not building this industry. And the whole concept, especially with something like the Win-Win Project, is to build the industry. And to build the industry, you need to stay here.
And I think people don't understand how many people are here in St. Louis and in Missouri that want to make their living out of making films. And so having a steady stream of work come in is important for them, because if they can't get it, then they do leave.
It seems that in years past it's been a lot of separate groups of filmmakers, and one of my personal goals is to really bring those groups together. And I mean, we all kind of know each other, but in the past couple of years we've all started working together a lot more and helping each other out.
We're producing 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 locally funded and produced features a year in this city.
Everybody works so hard in St. Louis. That's what's so great, that everybody loves film here. And it's not just jobs for people.
I absolutely love the way this city looks. And St. Louis is so unique, and I just can't think of a reason why more people aren't shooting here.
I've shot 2 feature films here. I've used union crews and non-union crews, and all the people are really good, and they're talented people if they're given the opportunity. So I think we just need some people to come in and give people more of an opportunity to make it even better.
Because I think we've got the talent here. I think we have the resources here, and I'd like to see it grow.
We have a great city to shoot in. It is relatively inexpensive compared to other areas of the country. It can shoot for so many different places and so many different periods in time.
The mayor's campaign is willing to produce right here, then why shouldn't you?
I'm not used to doing a whole bunch of TV commercials, and they really handled that all well and tried to get me, project me, I guess, in the most favorable light. I had to remember so many things at one time. It's always awkward doing that in an unnatural way, walking backwards and holding my arms out and saying something and smiling and then turn around. It's always fun. We had a good time.
He's actually very charming and very open to doing stuff, and clearly he's a professional speaker, and he knows how to carry himself, and he understands campaigning, and he understands that his image is important. And
Everybody knows that the most important person on any St. Louis film crew is the one that brings the hot coffee. Thank you.
The judges were looking for how well each of the contestants or the teams got their message across. They were looking for creativity. How is it different than what you would usually see in a political ad? They were looking for technical merit, so basically they want to make sure that it technically looks good.
And if there is something extraordinary, or there's some extraordinary talent or an extraordinary voice that we're introduced to, then we would hope that we could put that to work on the campaign on television.
And I think that you're going to see this film community really explode in the next 5 to 10 years.
It's all about telling stories. So, hopefully we did a good job telling Mayor Slay's story.
Next time we're going to have this election in July.